Welcome everyone, my name is PaullyMac. Today I'm bringing you the pick'ems for week number 11 of the GBA D-League Season 4. And as always, I am joined by ItzSawk.
Hello guys, I'm as consistent as uploading, better than Zazo.
Haha! And we, for those of you who noticed, we got up before power rankings last week as well, so look at us. Look at the people from two different sides of the world getting stuff done better than others.
Hey. Anyway, going into a recap of last week, a lot of really fun matches, a lot of really interesting endings. The Exeter Chief Electivires versus the Texas Pokemon Rangers was a really good game to watch, although it didn't end the way I thought.
Or me, but we'll survive.
Yeah. Very interesting week. We had a couple people going 3-3. A person, Flying Bird, going 1-5.
Yeah, I was like, I completely missed that, and I was like, man, I passed Bird, even though my week wasn't the best. How'd I do that? Oh, that's why.
You still have the second worst lock differential.
I do. I really thought Zazo had that matchup, but you know,
that was such a hacks fest. Oh my lord, that was so much
Zazo.
fun to watch though.
Well, of course, but hey, I was just happy that I didn't screw up by actually sticking with Goldoa, because I almost went with Danza, but I was like, nah, the matchup's too favorite Goldoa, and I was right. Shout out to Victini.
Yeah, Victini put in way too much work in that game.
Oh yeah, but way to make us look bad with saying Haxorus would do a lot of work, and then Haxorus. I'll get to Haxorus when I talk about Goldoa's game later on, but.
Well, take it away.
Well, why don't you first go into what the fans picked this week?
Alright, for this week, in the last regular season week of the fan pick'ems, this week you guys are locking Goldoa Dragon and his New York Empoleon over the Baltimore Orioles and CJ. You guys are picking the Carolina Pantherians and Coach Techno. You guys are also picking the LA Clefables and Coach Regulator. You guys are also picking the Exeter Chief Electivires and Melantage. You guys are also picking the Durham Dreadgons and Coach Leo, aka 6 Foot Trash, and finally, you guys are picking the Detroit Butterfrees and Coach Iron Flash Gaming Zazo.
Yes, and as I mentioned, we're going to start out with Goldoa Dragon, New York Empoleons taking on Choice CJ and the Baltimore Orioles, and a bit of an interesting matchup as Goldoa's gone down the stretch trying to get that bye. CJ, I can't remember if he has a chance at playoffs still.
No,
I didn't think so.
I think he's fully eliminated with either Goldoa winning, or I think it's Zazo winning.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember.
The two happen.
I can't remember the exact scenarios and what they were again, but yeah, Goldoa really fighting for that bye, and a bit of an interesting matchup here. First for Goldoa, Bisharp is a really interesting mon in this matchup. It offensively checks a lot of CJ's team with the combination of Iron Head and Sucker Punch. That in knockoff really wants it, but really that combination of Sucker Punch and Iron Head can be such a threat. Obviously, the track offensively can deal with it because obviously resists the Sucker Punch and gives it the boost. You don't want to do that. And, outspeeds it, so can't hit with Iron Head. Swampert and Suicune can deal with it well defensively as well, but offensively, the rest of his team can deal with it pretty well, and I just do not want to forget Bisharp ever again. Now, moving on to the mon I mentioned, Haxorus. Z Dragon move Haxorus. Absolutely destroys CJ minus Magnet Klefki. Just don't blow the Z move early this time, please. Because I was like, wait, why did he do that? Like, I was so stunned. I'm like, oh, he just pulled out the Z Poison or Z Earthquake. That's Z Dragon. Why? That was, okay. I was just like, man, that was not the turn to go for. But, hey, whatever. You can do really well with it this week, because the combination of ground plus dragon is just so much work, again, outside of Magnet Clucky. And then Taunt Tornai could be really nice here, maybe even Resto Chesto. That Prankster Taunt could be really big in dealing with a lot of the bulkier things on CJ's team. Now for CJ, I actually really love Nasty Plot Celebi here. Obviously the Tornai will be a thing and be able to stop that a bit, but the combination of its dual stab plus earth power could put in a lot of work. Make sure it's max speed, try to speed tie that Victini if it's a max speed Victini. That could put in a ton of work in this matchup. Tracheon, as usual, absolute beast here. Can just do so much work with that dual stab. Obviously, if he wants to run the Z, Z-Rock, probably to hit Mega Venusaur a little bit harder. That's what I would probably go with on it. It just, whether you want to go setup or just in general, just 4 attacks or maybe 3 attacks. Maybe run a quick attack in there if you just don't have a space for a move. Whatever you want to do. Just Z-Rock Tracheon is terrifying here. And, lastly, Raikou. I think Raikou actually is a big mon for CJ here because that really deals with a lot of Goldo's team. I know the Doug Trio is there, I am aware. I don't know if he'll bring Doug Trio, purely deal with Raikou. I wouldn't be surprised. He can run that extra sensory to hit the Mega Venusaur. Maybe he'll run Magnet Rise so Doug Trio can't come in and just revenge it. Maybe he'll go with that double Magnet Rise core of Klefki and Raikou. Who knows, but Raikou just goes in here, does a ton of work with extra sensory, Thunderbolt, HP Ice, and then again maybe the Magnet Rise deal with Doug Trio, or maybe Calm Mind expecting no Doug Trio. We'll see. But I went with CJ. I think it's a really even matchup, and I mainly went with CJ because I picked after everyone else the main guys did who were up at the front, and everyone else picked Goldoa. So I was like, I'm gonna be different here, and I'm gonna go with CJ and try to make up some ground.
So apparently after forgetting Bisharp was a mon, you are now remembering it every week and making sure it is known that you remember it every week. Good job for fixing your mistakes.
Yes.
Goldoa has done that as well, as we all can see. Alright, going into our next game here, we do have the LA Needle Kings and Coach Crobat for the win, aka Danza. We also have them facing the Carolina Pantherians against Techno. Now Danza, I don't know how much I can say about this, but offensive Steelix looks pretty fun in this matchup, and since I believe that Danza is locked for playoffs, we may see some funky sets. I'm talking Sped Shed kind of funky sets. Now, this being said, can we see Calm Mind Mega Gallade? Thanks, Danza.
I have gotten a kill with Calm Mind Mega Gallade in a meme match. It is a fun set.
Exactly. Now, Techno, I'm pretty sure that if you win, you are in as well. So I can see Techno going all out with his good usual prep. So something like Scarf Needle King is a really good bring this week against Danza's speed tiers that are really, really weird. And Scarf actually does a lot of outspeeding except for the Zero Aura. Now, in this game, I think the memes are way too strong and they take Techno way too off guard. I think Danza takes this.
Yeah, I went with Techno because I think Techno's really going to battle for that playoff spot. Because I think that's just, that's an important game for him, whereas for Danza it's a little bit less, as you mentioned. For Danza, this is, maybe a fight for the bye. That's the 2 seed. I think Leo has the 1 seed locked up. I think 3 people are fighting for that 2 seed, if I remember correctly. So, I think it is still important for Danza, but at the same time, this is a potential, first round playoff match. Because if Techno wins, he could easily have that 6 seed with Danza getting that 3 seed potentially here. And then they'll be facing in the first round. So we'll see what they decide to do. I think Techno's going to go all out to make sure he gets that playoff spot, and Danza might might hold a little bit back and save some for the playoffs in the next round if they face each other, which they could.
Yeah, easily. It all just depends on how every game shakes out this week.
Oh, for sure. It's a very interesting final week heading into the playoffs. But moving on to our third game here, we have the Los Angeles Clefable, coached by Gregulator, taking on Randy HLD and the Texas Pokemon Rangers. Now, this one is a game that probably could be a little bit more fun because we do have players like a player like Greg who really enjoys his memeing, and Randy who has shown he can bring out some fun sets in the past. He brought out a fun set in the playoffs last year to get a win against Jolt. But looking at Greg, Greninja is just so hard for Randy to switch into here. It just covered for almost everything that Randy has. And on top of that, knowing it's the last game, I could fully see Rain Toad coming this game. It actually has a fantastic matchup. I love the look of Rain Toad for Greg. So we'll see if he decides to go with it. Cyber Toad is pretty hard for Randy to deal with, actually, often, defensively. He does have the Shaman, obviously. But if he doesn't bring the Shaman, which I could definitely see him not bringing the Shaman, that just kind of runs through a lot of Randy's team. Again, depending on what all he brings. And lastly, for Greg, I really like the look of Scarf Heatran here. Just as a genuine set. But if he does bring it, that means we're going to be able to get some UDC. If you don't know what UDC stands for, it stands for Unstabbed Dragon Coverage. And I want to see Scarf Dragon Pulse and for Heatran for that Latios, because I've brought that and it worked for me, and I want to see him do the same thing. So please bring that, Greg. I would be very happy if you bring Scarf Dragon Pulse Heatran this game. Now looking at Randy, Megalop, and Megalop. That's a mon that does really well here. Just Ice Punch plus Fire Punch plus Return plus either Fake Out or Fighting Stab. That's a thing. Yeah, Musharna is his best really check to it. He could bring Musharna again. It's the final week. We'll see what happens. On top of that, Rotom Heat, great mon to deal with the Tapu Koko, deal with the Mega Scizor, It could be really big annoyance actually in general to Greg's team as well. And then on top of that, Scarf Mammo. If Scarf Mammo gets the prediction right with which stab to go for, it gets a kill pretty much every time. Really, the only thing that really switches into that is the Mega Scizor. Or if he decides to bring Air Balloon Tran, that also. But Scarf Mammo is a big threat here. I went with Randy, I believe, because of Megalop being Megalop. And on top of that, if it is a bit of a more memey match, we'll see exactly what happens. I don't remember what these... do either of these two really have a chance at playoffs? I don't think they did, but I'm
not anymore
blanking.
Because of last week.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I was just, again, I was kind of blanking. Like, I had that in my head, but I didn't want to all of a sudden say that, and also people are like, no, they both have a shot at playoffs, and I'm like, I'm sorry. So, we'll see what happens.
The basic comment section for you, going re at every comment you say.
Exactly.
Now, I did as well pick Randy, but I picked it more along the lines of how they've been playing. Randy's been just playing really well, and Greg has been spotty at best. He's shown signs of being a very capable player this season, but he has not put it all together, and it really hurt him this season. Now, along with what you said for the matchup-wise, he has a pretty good matchup against Regulator, but all in all, I can't go against Randy.
Yes.
He's been playing way too solid.
Yeah, agreed. And again, that Megalop, I just look at Megalop and just like, this is like a dream matchup for a Megalop almost. Like, again, if Msharn is not there, it'd just be like over immediately.
Yeah. Now, going into our next game here, we do have the Exeter Chief Electivires facing off against the Toronto Leaf Storms. OP Jellicent is your coach of the Leaf Storms, and Melatosh is your coach of the Chiefs. Now, Sohan, welcome to very shallow and unknown territory for the most part. Stuff only the Detroit Lions and Cleveland Browns know all too well. In order to not be cemented and enshrined in all of the glory with you, you have to get past one of the better playoff teams pushing for this season, Melantosh. So, when can you come and get fitted for your reverse perfect season jacket? All in all, Landorus plus Florges puts in a pretty big order for your team to win. But you do need to watch out for Cobalion. Now, Melon. In the words of a great actor and a great, very good meme, just do it. Cobalion plus Gengar tears into this man and can lock up an easy win to cement yourself into playoffs and get you nice and settled in. But do take this week very carefully and seriously, as we do want to keep the memes running, of course, and keep that Latias in check, because it could be a pretty big problem for you if you let it get out of hand.
I'm still shuddering over you bringing up the memories of the 2008 Detroit Lions.
Sorry, trigger warning.
Yeah, as a Lions fan, at least the Browns can join us in misery now.
And Sohan.
And Sohan, if he loses, which he probably will, because it's Sohan.
He tried.
Did he? Did he?
Hey, he had some good points this season where he showed he can play well, but he just didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he had the potential to actually beat Leo last week. It was like, it's actually going to be the week where this happens, like, but it didn't.
The one week where, like, everyone locked against him, basically?
Exactly. Like, of course that'd be the week that happened, but hey, that was the one.
Pick 'em logic.
Again, I didn't get to lock that one because I'm always one of the last people to pick, and I didn't get to lock that one, so I've been like, I swear to God, if that actually goes my way, and I didn't lock it and everyone else did. But, oh well. Anyway, back to the guy who he played last week. Moving on to our fifth game, we have Leo, 6-foot hack, 6-foot trash, as Sock so much loves to call him, taking out Aaron 2420 and the Calgary Infernapes. And the matchup, Leo. Everyone's just picking Leo. And Leo, I believe, again, I think Leo has the #1 seed locked up, even if I don't think there's any way anyone can catch him. I think everyone else has 3 losses. So, yeah, Leo's got the #1 seed locked up. Aaron has no chance at the playoffs, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he's, like, one of the bottom teams. So
yeah, he's locked out.
Yeah. I'm not looking at the standings in front of my head. I'm trying to remember. But, yeah, like, this is going to be a meme match, I would expect. Neither team has anything to play for, but we'll still look at it in a serious way because we have no idea what to predict from the memes. So, yeah, Leo wins. Okay, moving on. But no. For real, for Leo, AV Magirna. I feel like we say Magirna every week, but it's Magirna. It's busted. I love Magirna. It's so dumb.
It really shouldn't have been allowed.
It really shouldn't have been. It's been so good for Leo this season, and one of the main reasons.
Especially since especially since it went to Leo, of all people.
Yeah.
Like, if it went to, like, a half-decent battle like Melantosh, we could see if Magirna is pretty solid, but the fact that last season's champ got first pick overall and got Magirna first overall kind of just set him right back in the playoffs. It was like an auto lock. It was just, where is he going to land in playoffs now?
Exactly. He had to basically not screw up the rest of his draft, which he didn't. So, speaking of the rest of his team, what else does well here? Bandit Zydog. I believe this will be the 3rd or 4th straight week he brings Bandit Zydog, and I see no reason for him not to bring Bandit Zydog if he runs a true traditional team, because the switch in is Shelmet.
Hey, that's a good Pokemon.
Hey, Shelmet's, I like Shelmet. And it is a solid switch into Bandit Arrows. That's the only one he has. But hey, because it'll probably be a me match, I definitely could see that coming. And then on top of that, Bandit or SD Ape just, it just destroys Aaron. Like, it just destroys him. Now, looking at Aaron, I'm saying this for you, ItzSawk. Specs Volcanion. Only Aloe and maybe Spadef Crest, I haven't done the calcs myself, can switch into Specs. But on top of that, he might be better off bringing Scarf this week, because Scarf actually does do a ton of work if Aloe isn't there. Like, it really deals with a lot of Leo's offensive threats. Just Scarf, Steam Eruption, and Fire Blast. That combination, maybe a coverage move to hit something. But on top of that, Double Dance Thunder Eye, potentially? Either with Psychic or HP Ice for your last move with Thunderbolt. Double Dance, that could do some work here. It really could. Obviously, the Bandit E-Speed will be there, so if he takes too much chip damage, he won't be able to do it. But we'll see. That thing can actually do a lot of work here. So, again, I feel like everyone's pretty set on picking Leo. He's been the best player this season, playing against a player who hasn't quite, been as good this season. But we'll see. We'll see what kind of memes and trickery happen this week, if anything does.
Also, I was pretty sure Aaron did confirm, which he did in the fan Discord, he did confirm he is bringing Tinkershell, his Shelmet, against Leo. Thought I'd throw that out there, that we do have a confirmed Pokemon coming this week, for one.
We do. Oh, I do enjoy a good Shelmet. So let's see how this game goes. See if Shelmet can get a kill. I'm rooting for you, Shelmet.
Shout out to the fan Discord for getting the insider information.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And our last game of the week in the regular season is, of course, the Detroit Butterfrees versus the Calgary Flame Wheels. Iron Flash Gaming, aka Zazo, versus the Deebs. Now, Zazo, Sneasel is a real problem this game if Talonflame is gone or isn't brought, but I do 100% expect it to come this week. I can also see Crocodile coming this week. It is very nice to keep Lando and Nihilego in check. However, you do need Spadef Zapdos for Superior. Now, Deebs, I locked you this week just like I promised. So, Serp plus Nihilego can overwhelm him if Blissey does go down. And that is very likely, as Lucario does seem to do some nice work, along with like a Spadef Vaporeon or Fizdef Vaporeon to help check Chomp or Slowbro, depending on which set you want to bring. Now, like I said, I am picking Deebs, and I do think that he can win this game if things fall his way.
Oh, for sure. I think he has potential. I still went with Zazo, because I think he's going to go all out trying to get that bye spot. Again, as one of those players who can get that bye, and I think he's going to go out for it. But yeah, Lucario is an interesting one, because it's always difficult when you have a really, really good, especially bulky normal type that you want to hit physically with fighting moves, and then also a fantastic physical wall for dealing with fighting types in Slowbro. It's so hard to come up with a good set for something like Lucario in that type of perspective, and on top of that, Zapdos existing. So we'll see what Lucario said he brings. If he brings the right one, that thing can be an absolute threat in this matchup and could be the savior for Deebs for sure.
Yeah, and I believe if he does win this game, he does get into playoffs as the 6th seed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe he as well. So that this is another big game. Again, one player playing for his playoff life, another one playing for the bye. So this could be the one that you can say ItzSawk.
Hey, this is the game of the week. Grab your popcorn, sit down, grab your Beware plushie, shout outs to Spedshed, cuddle up, eat some popcorn, and have a great afternoon with the games this week.
Oh, absolutely. And hey, that is our final regular season pick'ems, and we head into playoffs. How does that make you feel? We're finally here at the end of the regular season.
Next week we're talking about playoffs. Playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. Playoffs.
I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like to talk about playoffs. I'm a Detroit sports fan. None of our teams make playoffs anymore.
Oof.
None of them the last
oof.
None of them the last 2 years have made playoffs. It's a bad time, but we'll go away from that. I'm in Australia now, where my team is number 2 in the league. So go football.
Yeah, NRL. Woo. Woo!
I was about Aussie rules football, but my NRL team's up there as well, so.
Anyway, I digress. We digress for this week. Next week, we're going to be talking about the quarterfinals, and we will see you guys there. If you guys want to be sure to get on Fan Pick'ems, be sure to join in the Fan Discord link down below. Shout at me, what's your favorite team? We'll slide to the roles, and you'll get notified every time they upload. And if you claim the D-League type people role, you will be notified whenever we launch the Pick'ems for that week, and you'll be notified when they are locked. With that, I think we're on out of here. We'll see you guys next week for the quarterfinals.
Bye-bye.
Scouts.
See ya.